What's going on, guys? Welcome back. This video was initially supposed to be the engine assembly, installing the fast, putting the engine in the truck, yada yada yada. And admittedly, I messed up. I don't know how or why, but 2/3 of the video for the engine assembly had zero audio, so it's just me going like that. So yeah, basically what I'm gonna do, and the whole fast install, I don't know how. I think when I was ripping the video off with the SD card, I deleted half of, I don't know, I completely screwed the pooch on this one. I'm a much better engine mechanic, diesel mechanic, I guess, than videographer. But you know, it is what it is. We're going through learning this. You know, we'll go through this journey kind of together, I guess. But sorry about that. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna basically have a little video montage of what I did save from the engine assembly and the engine install, the injector install, everything like that. Is, you know, just gonna throw some audio, you know, some decent music together, and I'll have kind of a sped up version of the assembly and everything that I did do, so you guys can at least see some of it. And then after that, we'll go into what we're working on. Alright guys, so we're back. I didn't really record much of the assembly of the engine. It was just basically putting a lot of nuts and bolts together. But as you can see, we got the head on, we got the valve train in, we got the engine harness on, and we started getting the fuel system together. We got the Dynamite diesel, 12mm CP3 on the bottom there. We have a stock 6.7 CP3 on top. We're running a Fleece dual CP3 kit. We're also running the Fleece fuel distribution block, and then a couple other modifications we're doing. So I did mess up. I got a 5.9 dual CP3 kit, and I have two 6.7 pumps. So the issue is with a Fleece kit, obviously you should have a 5.9 kit, 5.9 CP3 on the bottom because it's for a 5.9 truck, and a 6.7 on top. I remembered that when I ordered it, I was just going to run the stock one on the bottom with the Dynamite on top, and then I forgot it when I put it together, so we're here. Alright, so I do want to highlight something else. I have a Steed T4 manifold here. Biggest thing is these grade 8, or stage 8, I'm sorry, stage 8 exhaust manifold bolts. If you check them out, they actually have this tab that you put on, their 12-point, and this tab locks into the points, and it reduces, or it stops the bolt, I should say, from turning it. Yeah, I gotta actually redo this one. So you keep them nice and tight. It is probably gonna rattle just a little bit. I don't remember rattling before. So, I mean, it's a loud ass engine, so it is what it is. But yeah, outside of that, we got the new oil pump in, the fluid dampener installed with the high power kit, which comes with their, I believe these are, yep, these are ARP bolts. It's got this fancy dancy washer that goes in between the fluid dampener itself and the flex plate, or I mean the crank, I'm sorry. You can see we applied just a little bit of Loctite here too. Again, I think I used about half a bottle of, yeah, I think I threw it away. I had half a bottle of red Loctite when I started this project, and it's pretty much gone. So again, a little different than when we're doing a stock style build. We don't want, this thing's expected to run at a lot more load, a lot more RPM. It's gonna vibrate a lot more. So we got a lot more stuff bolted to it. So, you know, it is what it is. Outside of that, we're pretty much ready to install it. I think we're going to install it tomorrow or the next day. I gotta find the motor mounts. Don't know where they are, but you know, whatever. But yeah, we're gonna use this Firepunk engine hoist adapter. This thing's badass. I don't know how it holds all this weight with 2 bolts, but it does. But it's, even for doing just a head job, I highly recommend one of these. I think they're only like 80 bucks, something like that. So that is like a must-have tool if you work on Cummins. We're back and we're in the shop, and as you can see, we got the engine in the truck. Super stoked. Big thing out of the way. Since the last video, we just basically wrapped up all the little odds and ends. Water pump we got on. We clipped it, clipped the fins down a bit, so that way, as we're turning higher RPM, we don't overpressurize the cooling system. We got our new PDD billet freeze plug for the front. I got the, I don't know if I had this in the last video, but I pretty much got the fuel system plumbed, waiting on a few more things from Fleece, and I gotta get new fittings. I got a new pulley coming because I ordered a red one at first, and I decided to go with a black one. I think it more matches the theme of the engine. But yeah, so she's in, and what I did yesterday, excuse me, is I got the hole drilled for the wire tuck to go up, because again, I have all my wiring for that used to be here is now in the cowl. So to do that, all you got to do, you drill a big old hole here, and then you drill another hole here. And what I'll do is for the EGT probe, since I'm running the Steed upside down, the probe is on the bottom. So I'll run it up like this, and I'll actually have the wiring come through this plug here and plug in here. I am still getting the hardware to mount this down proper like it should be as well, but outside of that, she's in. So that's a big thing out of the way. Still got to make the new AC line. I mean, there's still a ton to do. I also ran the amp step wiring inside the cowl along here as well. And what I'll do is I'll end up dropping it, having it come through, and then I'll have it drop down there and connect over to the step on the passenger side there. And then same thing with the driver's side. I have the secondary battery, which is in the back. All this gets nicely P-clamped right here, and then I'll run the amp step wiring down there. The module itself, I'm probably gonna just mount here. I'll put some holes here where I can clamp it down, and that'll be tucked away nice and out of the elements as well. Kind of helps that stay alive longer. And again, now all this is nice and cleaned up. That's mainly my goal here with this truck, is just keep it as clean as possible while also being super useful. Alright, so we pretty much got everything done on the engine. We got the fuel system installed, valve cover, everything, power steering, all the pulleys. Only thing we're waiting on is our overnight parts from Fleece. Still waiting on this pulley, the fuel connector tube, the hard line that connects the two CP3s, and another piece of hose. I just got to hook up like the battery, hook up the dual CP3 controllers. We're gonna throw in the tune right now, but hopefully we can get these parts in. They were showing tracking to Vegas, and then they went to the wrong address. I don't know what happened, whether UPS messed up or we have the old address on the with Fleece still. So I don't know. We'll see. But we even got the union here. I just got this so that way we can run it with the trans on. We don't have to worry about the trans cooler. But outside of that, I mean, we're full of oil, full of fuel. We got the fast hooked up. I'm gonna run temporary power to that because I'm not gonna wire it yet. I still have a truck bed full of parts that I need to get to before I can wire anything. But let's hope we can get these Fleece parts, and then we're gonna hear this thing fire up. I don't know about you, but I'm really looking forward to it. So while we wait on our overnight parts from Indiana, I decided we're gonna go ahead. Got the batteries all hooked up, got the charger on, got the oil gauge hooked up, injectors are disconnected. So let's see if we can't get some oil pressure. Alright, so we had a little bit of a starter issue, but got that taken care of. My boy John over there with the hammer. But yeah, so we got oil pressure. Now, hopefully we can get those parts from Fleece. So let's see what happens. I'll prime it a couple more times and make sure it's good, but gotta wait on parts again. Alright guys, it's Saturday, new day, and unfortunately UPS kind of screwed me. The place is closed today, so I couldn't get the parts from Fleece that I needed to get the dual CP3s running. But luckily I talked to Daddy Dom, the tuner. He said that we can run it with just the single CP3. So what we're gonna have to do is a couple modifications here. We're gonna go ahead and cap off the feed to the top CP3. We're gonna cap off the return to the top CP3, and then this plug that we put in, I think, try to get it good. See if you guys can see it there. This plug that we got to put in to basically the high pressure side of the CP3 system, the dual CP3 system. We're gonna have to put it back in, and then we should be able to fire it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to that right now, and then I gotta just prime the fast. We'll crank it over again, double check we have good oil pressure. We gotta fill up the transmission before we start it. I gotta not forget that. But yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so we're hooking up the fast. I already checked, we got good fuel pressure, no fuel leaks. We got the new tunes in thanks to Daddy Dom. We got Trevor giving me eyeballs on the front, and we're ready to fire it up. What do you think?
Gonna be sweet.
Alright, here we go, fingers crossed. All right, boys. So you've seen we got it running. Had a little bit of a fuel leak on the fuel distribution block and the fuel rail plug. Got that situated, no problem. So now we got to get it running, get it up to temp, and get it to about 180 degrees, and we'll do our hot retorque. So I went ahead, laid everything out, all my tools that I need, so that way as soon as it shuts down, I can get right to it, tear down the top end, get the rockers off, and get to retorquing those head studs. It's super critical with these fire rings to make sure you get the torque down. So we're probably going to do a retorque now. Then once we get it on the road, we'll do about 100 miles. I'll do the first oil change, and I'll do another hot retorque then. Then we'll get another 500 miles on it, do another oil change and another hot retorque. Again, we just want to make sure we're getting those O-rings nice and crushed. That way when we go to lay down the full power on it, she actually seals up. We don't blow those out and we lose compression. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that going now. So it's been about 10 minutes. Chief Stokes over there said we got a good 180 degrees on our oil filter. Check out that hot oil pressure. We got about 30 psi, so we're gonna go ahead, get under the hood, get that hot retorque done before it cools off. Alright guys, so somehow I even managed to botch up the outro to this video, but you know, it is what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. We got it running. It's Monday, obviously, so we got our fleece performance parts that we were waiting on, so I can get the dual CP3 setup done. And yeah, other than that, she's running real good. Super stoked. Got the cam braking done, gonna do the oil change, and we're just gonna go ahead and start slapping this thing together. Also wanted to highlight this super sweet shifter mount that we made here in house. Our fabricator Craig here at Sin City Metalworks whipped this up. I mean, it's pretty sweet. So what I'll do is probably in the next video we'll do a install video on like the full manual valve body and show a little bit of the assembly of the engine and show you guys this shifter mount. We do plan to produce them as like a marketable item that we can sell to you guys. So if you guys are interested, let me know. But yeah, I think outside of that, appreciate you guys watching and let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time.